Hi, in this video tutorial we will see how you may perform data-driven testing using vREST with the help of looping functionality. In data-driven testing, input data can be read outside of vREST. You don't need to hard code the test data in vREST. This test data can be generated with the help of any external tool or script. In this demonstration, we will read the test data from a CSV file. The basic idea is you need to first fetch the data with the help of a REST API, and then you need to pass that data to a simple test case template. vREST will iterate through that data, filing different values for the request parameters for multiple scenarios. You can set different assertions value for each scenario. And finally, vREST will show you whether a particular iteration has passed or not. In order to perform data-driven testing, your data must be a JSON array. The structure of array item is upon you. vREST will iterate over the array items and fill test case template for each array item and execute them in sequence. We are performing data-driven testing on our sample contacts application. First, we have written an add contact test case, and then we are going to validate multiple scenarios of updating that contact. So the first problem is, how will we fetch data for our data-driven testing? vREST only fetches data with the help of a REST API. So if you are using any third-party solution for test data management, then you can provide API URL for that. Or if you are having the data in a plain text file or CSV files, then we have written an external utility named as vutil for that purpose. This utility provides a REST interface which reads the CSV file from the system and converts and provides a JSON as a response. In this demo, we will use Excel as our data source, and we will fetch this data with the help of our external utility vutil. In order to perform data-driven testing, you need to first install our vutil module. For setup or installation of vutil, please visit our guide on setup or install vutil. Once you have installed vutil on your system, let's see how you may fetch data from CSV file into vREST. This is our sample Excel file. The format of this file can be anything depending upon your context. Here in this file, we have specified the request body, expected body, and the response status code for test case iterations. Each row represents one test case scenario. Now in vREST, we have written a sample test case invoking our external utility, which will convert this sample CSV file and will respond as a JSON format file. The response of this API is an array. First, we need to extract the response of this API in a variable, which we can use that variable in our next test case. In Variable Extractor tab, we have stored the value as an output key in a variable, say data. Now we are going to consume this data as source in our update contact API template. We have set the loop source as variable data. As we have 6 records in our CSV file, so this test case will be executed 6 times. Next is the request parameters. To define the request parameters, either you can provide them as form data, or you may set this to the raw body. In raw body subtab, we can provide the request data for the test case as a variable. Here the data is an array, and the dollar is the array index. And we are accessing the request property of each array item and then body property. Value of dollar will be from 0 to 5 because we have 6 records in our CSV file. You can also set this body as individual parameters depending on your input data format. If you disable the raw body, then these body parameters will be sent. In the same manner, we have defined the test case assertions values. We have also set the expected response body for this test case via test data. This is the expected body in our sample Excel file. Now let's execute these test cases. vREST will create a new contact and then it will fetch data from CSV file, and then it will validate the different scenarios of update contact API. You can see the iteration results by looking at the results tab. Just select the loop index, then it will show the corresponding results of that loop index. So this is how you may perform data-driven testing in vREST. If you want to learn more about data-driven testing, then you may go to the user guide of vREST and then visit section data-driven testing inside the looping section.